mistaken way, the right and the wrong, what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, that intellect of Partha, Arjuna, is of the nature of passion. The word yaya is used meaning that by which. It is in the feminine gender, but here the intellect is spoken about. The intellect by which one knows in a mistaken way dharma and adharma, karya, what ought to be done, and akarya, what ought not to be done, such an intellect is of the mode of rajas, passion. The word ayarthavat is used, and Srimad Adi Shankaracharya defines this as not in a decisive way. Look at the word broken down. Which is a negative prefix, yatha, what it is like, and vat, like that. And therefore, ayatavavat means not what it is like. An intellect which sees this and which makes decisions like this is of the mode of rajas, passion. If a shirt is white and you say that the shirt is white, then this is yatavat, what it is like, because you have said it as it's like. But if you call it yellow, red or purple, etc., then it is ayatavavat, not what it is like, because you have not said it as it's like. In this way, the intellect by which one does not know decisively what dharma and adharma, or what karya, what ought to be done, and akarya, what ought not to be done are, such an intellect is called of the mode of rajas, passion. It leads to a doubt about the yatavavat, what it is like, and this is an intellect of the mode of rajas, passion. An intellect of the mode of rajas, passion is one that is indecisive and in a state of to be or not to be. I remember a poem of Bhagwati Kumar Sharma, a very nice author of the Gujarati language, called Maras. Koi Greek tragedy na patra jeva, to be or not to be, ha na maras. Just like a character in a Greek tragedy, people are always in a state of to be or not to be. Hamlet was in a state of to be or not to be, and should I do it or should I not do it? This type of intellect is of the mode of rajas, passion. The reason why we have to look after our intellect so much is that the intellect is the root. If there were a tree, and then if there were damage to a leaf, then it won't make much of a difference if one or two leaves get cut off, if one or two leaves got stained, or if one or two leaves fall away. This does not make much of a difference. If some leaves catch a disease, then this also does not make a difference. But if there's a damage to the root of the tree, it will damage the whole tree. If one or two leaves fall off, then the other leaves will come, but if the root goes, then another root will not come, and a whole tree will be damaged. The intellect is a root of existence. This is because the decisions that are made with the intellect, these decisions come into our conduct, and these decisions shape our lives. The intellect must become of the mode of sattva, goodness. Thinkers have said it very nicely that an intellect of the mode of sattva, goodness, lifts us, an intellect of the mode of rajas, passion, gives us turbulence, and an intellect of the mode of tamas, dullness, sinks us. What is an intellect of the mode of tamas, dullness like? The Lord will explain this in the next verse. An intellect of the mode of rajas, passion, is ayatavavat, knowing in a mistaken way, and I've already described the concepts mentioned in this verse, such as dharma and adharma, karya, what ought to be done, and akarya, what ought not to be done, earlier in this chapter. But ayatavavat, knowing in a mistaken way, is a confusion and a state of hanging in the middle, and this state is very bad. This is what happens to a person of the mode of rajas, passion. Therefore, what happens is such a person's thoughts always remain unstable, and there is always turbulence in their thoughts. They always see this turbulence and they are unable to decide. This is the characteristic of a person of the mode of rajas, passion. He is never fully and completely anywhere. He does half in one place and leaves that and goes somewhere else, and then leaves the second thing and thinks that it would be better if I'd done the first thing. Then he does half the job there and then goes somewhere else and says that it would be better if I'd gone there. This is a person of the mode of rajas, passion. He is constantly fickle. What is an intellect of the mode of tamas, dullness like? Let us go to the next verse, verse 32. Adharmam dharmatam